Good morning, guys, and welcome to another episode of the 20 into 30 podcast. You are joining myself and the Swedish bombshell that is Evelina for today's topic, which is probably not our strongest topic, but we're going to try. We're going to go through this, aren't we, Evelina? Because today we're talking about dating. Now, again, like I say, Evelina, I don't know about you, but how do you feel we're going to give people much knowledge on this one?
No, this is going to be a guide of what not to do.
I pretty much agree with that. A guide what not to do is probably where this is going to go.
Yep, 100%. Get ready for it, because this might be very much a lot of cringing happening.
Well, this is a podcast about dating when both of us are single.
And for very good reasons, I would say.
Yeah, well, unless the reasons that we're single is because we're no good at dating.
Yeah, I would say all above.
So therefore, we're going to see how this goes. I've got my cup of tea in hand. It's a little bit hot. I just burnt my top lip. So I'm going to give that a little bit of a hold. But how's your week been? What have you been up to?
My week's been good, actually. I've been working, as always, finishing off some new projects, which is really cool. But more exciting is I actually have a visitor from Sweden at the moment, so
I saw
I'm
this.
living my best life.
I saw this on your Instagram. Who's over?
It's my friend Sarah. She's one of my oldest friends.
Good morning, Sarah.
She's outdoors enjoying
Rude.
the sun, you know.
It's hurtful. I should say hello, and I didn't even get hello back.
Okay, I'm gonna tell her off.
So is it sunny where you are then?
Of course it's sunny. It's Spain.
See, we're lost
having 26 degrees at the moment, and it's not even 11 o'clock.
Yeah, see, we've lost it. As I look out the window of my flat right now, it is raining. Very much so.
Ooh, it is sucks to be you.
Well, do you know what? I'll be honest, this week I hit a wall. You know, we talk about it where you be in your flow and then it all goes a bit Pete Tong. That was my week this week. I ate out 5 days in a row. I did train 4 days. I'm going to train again today. But it was one of those days where the weather was so hot that it really affected my work. So then that really affected my schedule. And I like to keep to my schedule, which then put me out completely, which then sort of, it just puts your whole week out, doesn't it?
Yeah, and you are quite, as you said, you like to keep to your schedule. So when things doesn't go to plan, you get a little bit irritated.
I get frustrated because I feel like I should be doing this, I should be doing that, but I can't. And so anyway, the weather really affected the work this week, so I couldn't work like I normally would, and then it sort of put your training out, put your mood out. So I can completely relate to people when they say they have a bad week. We all have them. However, I'm going to go train today. We're going to get back into it, and we're going to start off next week, which I am starting off with. I've been going up a little bit in weight. We're going to start cutting it down a little bit, just to tighten things, just a little bit, you know, just a little tighten up. So we're going to get back to it next week, even though it's been a bit floaty for me.
Yeah, but a good thing then, if you have been feeling a little bit off, a little bit flat, this is going to bring your mood up, isn't it? This episode is just going to be next level weirdness.
Or it's going to make us more depressed because it turns out that I'm really bad at dating.
No, it's not turns out. We know this for a very long time.
Well, this is it. Anyway, so how long is your friend Sarah over for?
She's going to be here for 10 days. So this is the longest she's been down here, because we have been coming to Spain, to my family's flat, since I moved back to Europe 4 years ago, I think.
Right.
So it's a little bit of a tradition of ours.
Oh, nice. Oh, yeah, because you did that every year, didn't you, with a couple of friends?
Yeah. And it's just me and Sarah left in a group, because speaking of dating, we're the only one that's not pregnant at the moment.
Oh, that you know of.
Yeah.
There's a bit of a delay there, Evelina.
Yeah, because it's a little bit of awkwardness, because you kind of need to be dating to get knocked up to start with.
Well, unless you are me. Now, it turns out I'm super fertile, right? Now, the doctor said to me...
Are you saying to me that you're pregnant?
I'm not pregnant, but you've got to be careful, right? So you're saying you have to have a relationship to potentially get someone pregnant, right? But my doctor was like, Luke, I'm making this up, by the way. Luke, you're super fertile. if you sneeze within a meter radius of someone, they're going to get pregnant. So you don't actually have to have you don't actually have to have a relationship to get someone pregnant. I have to watch when I
Okay.
sneeze around people.
But it's a good thing that you have to wear a mask now because of COVID then.
Well, no, because it's just the power, the wave of fertility that comes
Okay.
out. And the closer you get, like if it's a meter, you're going to get like one child, right?
And it's a good thing they moved away from the country.
This is it. One child is within a meter, and if you get within half a meter, you get twins. So
Okay, well you have to keep 2 meters distance, so you'll be fine.
technically, this COVID guideline is reducing the chance of me becoming a father in 2020.
Woo! Are we happy about this?
Sorry, I was just trying my tea again. It's still a bit hot. But yeah, so anyway, that is what has been happening in my life. And obviously, yes, you do have to be dating to get someone pregnant. So we're not going to have that. But so you're the only two left.
Yeah, but isn't it? This is just gonna sum everything up. Like, get ready for the conversation is coming because it's gonna be equal as awkward as it was the first 3-5 minutes of this episode.
6 minutes and 17 seconds, actually.
Yeah, and that's how awkward the next 45-ish minutes gonna be.
Well, this
Heads
is it.
up.
This is it. But look, let's talk about dating then. Let's. When was the last time you were dating, Evelina?
Well, I was in a relationship at the beginning of the quarantine, actually.
Oh,
So we broke up
yes.
during quarantine.
Okay, and how do you? Because nowadays you've got like dating apps, and you've got like, well, you've got a lot of different dating apps. Like some of them, when I speak to my friends, I didn't realize how many different dating apps there were. You've got like Tinder, you've got Bumble, you've got Plenty of Fish. You've got this one called Hinge.
I think someone called it Happy Pancake or something as well.
That sounds like my type of dating app. A happy pancake.
I made pancakes for breakfast this morning.
I did see. Did you have? It looked like you had jam on it.
Yeah, homemade jam. I make this jam. There's like a gut healing jam.
Right.
So, but that's for a different episode. But yeah, we had that.
Oh, nice. Well, they're like some of the places that you can go to date now, right? But personally, I don't tend to really use those places for dating. I don't know about you. Do you use these apps?
I have been on them, but it's one of those things. You're on there for a day or two, then you're like, boring.
I know. Don't get me wrong, I've been on them, but you can end up with like lots of matches and people you're just not talking to, and then it's all kind of overwhelming. So I don't know, like that for me is not like the best way that when I'm looking to date.
No, I think those apps are just, if you're not really there to like write first to the person, interact, it's just a way to get a little bit of a confident boost when you get a match.
I did used to like Tinder because I just like swiping. And most of us probably did it all at the same time. It's like when you're in the bathroom, let's be honest, right? You got a little bit of time to your hands. You think, I'll have a swipe.
Do you really?
No, I mean, that would be terrible. I wouldn't do that. Of course I did.
Of course you did. Ew.
Well, look, come on. Your bathroom, you've got plenty of time. You know what I mean? You can scan through some photos. And you're like, yes, no? Okay. What if
Are you disinfecting?
Of course, we're in COVID.
What days?
So
everyone knows now, if they get a match with you from Tinder, you had a lot of time on your hands sitting on the toilet.
Not necessarily in the toilet. Sometimes I'm sitting in the bathroom waiting for the hot water to heat up. And I'm just like sitting on the edge of the bath, waiting for it to warm up. So it's not necessarily that I'm, I might be sometimes if I'm doing a face mask and it's just not fully dry yet, then I'm like, I've got a couple of minutes there,
Did you hear that all ladies, there are guys that are actually doing some self-care face mask? Are you trying to sell yourself now? This is not a dating podcast.
This is my dating podcast. This is where I'm going to pick them up. This is it.
Okay.
No.
Leave a comment below if you're interested in dating Luke. You can just say swipe right.
Have you got an interest in Lord of the Rings? If you do, you'll like me. Because apparently I look like Frodo.
Yeah, oh my days. We should literally upload that video when you're saying that. Keep your eyes on Instagram. I'm going to upload a very embarrassing video of me and Luke.
Oh, what video is this?
You're going to see.
Okay, I look forward to it.
Okay,
But
back to the topic.
yeah,
So, dating platforms. So, there are those on the phone which you can just swipe right or left, and there are more serious ones online like Match.com. Have you ever tried those?
I haven't. But isn't that like you've got to pay for them?
Yeah, because they're more serious. People actually after dating, I could think.
Mm. I think you're right. I've only if I've ever played with like dating apps. I'll be honest. I've only ever been on like POF, but that was years ago. Tinder and Bumble.
Yeah, same. Tinder and Bumble is on the one I tried.
But I do think you have to make an effort on them. If you're actually like looking for something, then you do actually have to put some photos up. That let's be honest, guys. Let's make it actually look like you. Don't put photos up from like 10 years ago, and also write a bit about yourself because sometimes people are like, oh, I hate it when people's conversation's dead, right? But then they're put in their bio, if you want to know something, just ask. I'm like, really? Really? You manage one sentence, but the first thing you say is, I get really bored of people's chat. Really? And that's what you give me.
Do you have something when it comes to girls? Because now we can speak from two different perspectives here, can't we? As always. So I want to know what is the big no-nos for you to swipe right on those apps?
See, again, like, if there's literally like one photo, then I wouldn't swipe because I'm like, well, it's just one photo. And then also, if there's just no chat, like, I like someone with a bit of banter. Um,
Mm.
but again, I am really bad. I am really bad at being on those apps. I haven't been on them for a while, but that would have been my thing. Like, if there's one photo and there's just no like information at all, then I probably wouldn't swipe right.
Mm.
But you know,
No,
some
I
people,
get that.
like, I've got friends that will just swipe right on everything, and they're like, then what we'll do is we'll just decide later which ones we like. And I'm like, that is a lazy way of dating, isn't it? That's basically just taking whatever you get.
Yeah, but that's what the app is for, isn't it? Lazy way of dating.
It is,
Because
yeah.
you can put these posh pictures up where you're looking all good and cute, and there's a sunset in the background. You have your heels on, but the truth is, you have your hair up in a bun. You're in your PJ, watching a movie, eating ice cream from the tub. No one will ever know.
Well,
Lazy way of dating.
do you know what I don't like about these apps as well? Is they promote a culture as settling, right? And what I mean by that is, now a relationship can be the best thing in the world, or it can be very detrimental to who you are. Now, you know, sometimes a lot. I find that some people can sort of sacrifice who they are just to be with someone, right? Now, that's sort of settling in my views. And if you're happy doing that, you should do it, get on with it, fantastic. But the app sort of encourages settling from the start before you're even in a relationship with someone. And what I mean by this is, right, when I had Tinder, I'd go through, right? And I'd swipe yes or no, right? Right or left. And I would then come out of the app and it would send me a notification saying, oops, you missed a match, right?
Oh,
Come back
yes.
on and pay to get that match. Well, the reason I didn't match with them was because personally, I'm sure they're very attractive, but I'm not attracted to them like that. Okay, and on
Mm.
these dating apps, that is pretty much what it is. You're looking at the law of attraction. Do you like them in that way? Have they got a bit of chat on their thing, right? So I've swiped left because I'm just not interested in that way. Okay, myself personally. Why is that app then trying to get me to come back on and pay to match with someone I wasn't actually interested? That to me is like you're just trying to promote me settling for someone that I wasn't actually interested in. Do you know? Do you remember when you were at school? And I
Hmm.
don't know if this happened to you, but it happened to me. When you're at school and you would hear a rumor that someone was interested in you, and you never ever was interested in them prior. You wasn't really most of the time. I don't know about you, but that's talking to my end of the thing. You weren't interested, but then you'd hear someone was interested in you, and you'd be like, "Oh my god, I love her too. We need to be together. I have always wanted her." No, you didn't always want her. You just want her because you're interested and you're young. Like that's like it's sort of like you're just going with it because someone's interested, and you might as well have 50% of the couple interested. Like that to me is like promoting settle culture. Like just don't do that. Don't message me. Oops, you
Or
missed someone.
you being a little bit just lonely and desperate. You like, finally someone's wiping right.
I just think if I haven't matched with you, that's not because you're not pretty, or it's just like that law of attraction isn't there. But the app shouldn't be prompting me to go back on and backswipe. You know,
Mm,
that's like,
mm,
that's what I mean about it can be like online can be a lazy way of doing it,
mm.
but then at the same time with people's work and their schedules and everything now, it is kind of I get why people do it.
Yeah, but do you think the reason why it's so hard today, is it because we are much busier, or is it this lazy, very impatient culture that we millenniums are having?
I think I think it's a mixture of things, right? Now, again,
Mm,
look, this is coming from a guy that is useless at dating, right? I'm 30 years old. My longest relationship was when I was about 20 something. Um, now, so let me just caveat that with that before I say anything, right? Now, I think nowadays is harder because people are working longer. You also have both, usually both people are working, and therefore getting schedules to meet up is hard because you've got a 24-hour culture now. So just because you work 9 to 5 doesn't mean someone you're interested in works 9 to 5 or Monday to Friday. So I do get why people go on there for that. But then I do think nowadays it's so easy to, if you have a small disagreement, or let's say it's much more easy to get distracted by someone else if things aren't feeling like that high that you get right at the beginning, because obviously dating won't always be that constant high. That it's easy with social media and things like that to get distracted by someone else if things aren't fully perfect all of the time, which nothing is fully perfect all of the time. So I don't know. I think it's a mixture of everything. I think it's a mixture of the way that things work nowadays with people's lives, and also the fact with social media, it's so much going on in your head that can distract you from that side of your life, that it can fuzz everything up. Do you know what I mean?
mm, 100%.
It's like when you're trying to juggle too many things at work. It's hard. You can't fully focus on something, and I think it's the same sort of thing. If you someone's I listened to this radio show the other day, and it was really interesting. In what they said was, nowadays, for example, with your online dating, i.e., your apps and stuff, you get what you would have got in, say, 3 or 4 dates, information wise, from someone. You could get that in a night, right? And what I mean by that is you find out what job they do, what interests they have, maybe a bit about their family, where they've been, where they'd like to go, what their goals are. You can find out all that information in a night because you're just sending messages back and forward, right? Now that information before, years ago, say when my nan was dating, would have been gathered up over a period of say 3 4 days, right? And during that time, you are building a rapport up with that person. You're building up a connection with that person. I want to see them again. I want to spend time with them. But nowadays, you can have that conversation in one night, and then you lose interest because there's only so much you can talk about new every day. And so you're not building up that rapport during the thing, and then next thing you've moved on to the next conversation.
Mm,
What do you
that is
think?
so true. No, I 100% agree. And I also think that we are very impatient today. We can get food by clicking on our phones. We can watch any movie, and we can even pause or fast forward a movie on the TV today. So we are very impatient. We like to get things now and quickly. And that also means our attention span is much shorter. So when it comes to dating, I think we're just getting bored very easily, because if nothing is happening and nothing keeps that interest and spark, then we get bored. And if you're doing like you said, we're building a report much quicker, then we're getting bored even quicker because there's nothing else after that.
And the problem, taking it back to say when my nan and my granddad dated, they would
Mm,
have had maybe a date with 1 or 2 other people. They maybe they were doing that. Maybe they were going, Monday night they went out with one person, Tuesday and Thursday, whatever, they went out with someone else, right? If you've got Tinder or Bumble or any of these other apps, you could have 30, 40, 50 people in your inbox and maybe 10, 20 of them are pinging messages at you. You cannot juggle that. So, right, here's a tip for me, right? When I was on Tinder, right, my matches were just getting silly. You'd match with people and you wouldn't reply, you wouldn't message, whatever, right? So I put in a rule that on my Tinder that I could never have more than 10 people on that account. So that meant whether that was made up from conversations or matches, there could never be more than 10 people on there, right? And if I messaged them and they didn't reply, within 3 days, then you just unmatch them. Now, they might be busy,
I like that.
but it's just trying to keep things clearer. Because at the time when I had it, I was like, you know what, I am actually interested in dating. And therefore, I need to focus. And to focus in, I can't have lots of distractions. And having loads of conversations at a hi, how's your day, does not serve the purpose of that. Actually, I'd like to quite meet someone at that time. Now, therefore, I had to put in something that straightened my view on the purpose of the goal. And the goal was it would be nice to meet someone and have some dates. So that's what I did with Tinder. I said no more than 10 people on my app at one time.
10 people is still a lot.
It is still a lot, but you can end up with a lot more than that. And
yeah,
like
100%.
I say, it's distracting and like I say, so that was the rule I had. I sort of tried to keep it at that number to try and, as we're saying, reduce the distraction.
Yeah, and the thing is, when you have too many people, it's with all things in life. We think that we are so good at multitasking these days, but we're not. If you're putting your time and energy into 10 people, that means they are not getting 100% of your attention. They're getting 10% of your attention. And they are probably giving you back 5, 10, 15% of their attention. And of course you're not going to find that spark and connection because you're giving that to so many people. In the end, you're like, what was her name again? Was it like, if you speak with your friends sometimes, like, oh, is it the guy you met at that place? No, oh, that's the guy from that bar. Or was it the guy? Okay, no, that was the cycling guy from the spinning class. It's like there's so many people we are chatting with that there is no real connection with anyone because we're speaking to everyone.
Yeah, you can't juggle. Okay, so for example, we've spoken about like the apps, right? And we've said what our dislikes are there. Okay, if you were dating now, okay,
Yeah.
how do you go about it? Do you look to meet someone in life then, or are you still using those apps but looking to just be a bit more reduced with it? How are you juggling it? What are you doing?
No, I'm not using those apps anymore. I did it during quarantine because let's be serious, we were locked in. There's no many other options out there.
Mm.
I do like one of the apps. One of the apps actually had that girls have to write first.
Bumble, isn't it?
Yeah, that's Bumble. And I
Mm-hmm.
like that because that means it doesn't have to come up with this stubbornness. Oh, is he gonna write or is she gonna write? You know that's the rule. And if she doesn't write, she's not interested, and then it goes away.
Side
But
story with Bumble quickly. I had Bumble, right? And I'm there
oh
and
dear.
I'm swiping away. I'm like, yeah, okay. I put some photos up. I'm like, Luke, you're looking good. You're looking good. Let's go. I put a funny little comment up, right? I put a funny little comment. I thought they're going to be flooding in, right? I thought,
Oh my
this is it,
goodness.
Luke. You've done this. You've done yourself proud. I patted myself on the back, right? I thought, Luke, you've got this, right? I sat down, candles on, cup of tea, started swiping, right? Set the mood. So I'm swiping. And I thought, right, here we go. So I got to my limit, right? You couldn't scan anymore. You couldn't swipe anymore. Put the phone down. Nothing, right? Next day, sat down, put the candles on, cup of tea, started swiping, right? Next day, nothing, right? Third day, sat down, cup of tea. That's why I do in the evening. I do have a cup of tea on the sofa every day, okay? So I sat down, started swiping, nothing again. I literally thought my Bumble was broken, right? I literally thought my Bumble was broken. I thought, this is ridiculous, right? I put a good photo on, I'm going to put a funny comment up. I was literally thinking it was broken. So I started doing what my friends did. And I just swiped for anything for a second, just to see. Turns out my Bumble wasn't broken.
Do you know what? I tried Bumble for the first time in like 3, 4 weeks ago. Within, I'm not sure if it's me that's very picky or if it's just not that popular in my area. But within an hour, I ran out of people.
Well, I wouldn't worry. I had 3 days. I was telling Martin. I was like, Martin, I feel like my bumble's broken. And he was like,
No.
well, I was like, no one's matching with me, so I'm pretty sure it's broken.
It came up a comment for me saying there's no more bees in your area. I was like, I just swipe
Ouch.
through them all.
You go on there for a confidence boot and then it mugs you off. So if you're not using a thing and lockdown is not as much as it was, so are you looking to meet people in general life? Are you going to dating events? What are you doing?
My issue is that there's a lot of Spanish people in Spain.
That's usually how it works, Evelyn. I'm going to be honest.
And my issue is I don't speak Spanish.
So you got to learn Spanish.
I'm trying, but the thing is, on those dating apps, first of all, more than half of the people are Spanish, and out of those, only a handful can speak English. So if I'm lucky enough to match with someone and they do right, it ends up me answering them, no hablas español, por favor. And then it just dies out.
So you need to be meeting people in day-to-day life then, don't you?
Yeah, exactly. But then there are Spanish people out there as well, you know. So, but I kind of have a rule for myself, and I've been having this rule for a while. I do not like to pick guys up or checking guys out when it comes to bars and clubs and stuff, because I'm not a big party princess these days, and I'm worried that if I meet someone in a bar or that kind of vibe, I get a guy that is a party animal.
Yeah, but you can't think that because you're in the bar and you aren't a party animal. So they might just be on there one night out a month as well.
Yeah, I know, but what's the odds?
But you got to roll the dice, man. You got to roll the dice.
Yeah, but the thing is, I'm a nana when it comes to my sleeping hours. So if I go out, it's gonna end up he want to maybe meet up, and I'm like, no, I go to bed at 9, 10 o'clock. It's not gonna work out, mate.
What do you think if you're out in a, say, like a club or something, and do you expect the guy to come up to you, or would you go up to a guy?
It depends, actually. I'm not too picky with that. I know that I'm actually proud to say I'm not one of those girls who's gonna stand there. Oh, he should speak to me. If he wants me, if he's interested, he should speak to me. And I'm not following those rules, you know. A guy should buy a girl a drink or whatever. I can pay for my own drink, thank you. If you want to offer, there's one thing, but I'm not going to be one of those girls with my nose up in the air saying, this is the rules. I'm the princess here. No.
I think it can be hard, right? So you walk into a pub or a bar or something, and you're interested in someone, and say you're not getting on with the dating apps, right? And you walk into a bar and you see someone you like, right? You might want to go over to them. Now, a lot of people are overwhelmed by the fact that they might get rejected, right? But that's life. You get rejected by lots of things throughout life. That's just what it is, and it's not comfortable, right? So some people, I find, when they're in that environment, that they might come across people that they like, but they might not approach them because it might be a little bit overwhelming.
And it's just because we're hiding behind a phone most of the times.
Yeah. So, however, I think, look, if you see someone that you like, just go over there and have a conversation with them. Worst case scenario is they're not going to be interested, right? Worst case scenario. And you're going to go on with your night, and they're going to go on with their night. Don't go over there and be creepy. Just go over there, introduce yourself, say hello. Don't need to come up with like a chat up line or anything. But I always think if you put yourself in that discomfort for 30 seconds, it's either going to end with not going where you want it to go. Sorry, not COVID, and or it's going to go where you want it to go, and that 30 seconds could change your whole day or your whole life. But you have to put yourself in that position of discomfort for a small period of time. Don't stand there going, she'll come to me. Don't stand there saying, oh, I'll give her the eyes from a thing. Do you know what that looks like? You look like a flipping predator, right? Stop staring her, eyeballing her over the flipping thing all night, and you're sitting there thinking, right, this is how that goes down, right? You're standing there at the bar, you're looking at this girl, right? And you're thinking, oh yeah, she keeps noticing me, she's interested. No! She's just thinking, look at that predator in the corner, I've got to keep him in my eye line because he might jump on me, right? Don't do that. If you make eye contact with someone and they give them a little smile, and they smile back, guess what? Go over and say hello. You don't have to be like, yeah, can I get you a drink straight away? Maybe just start a bit of small talk. If the talk then starts, then be like, can I get you a drink? That's sort of how I try to run things now. How would you feel if a guy was like that, though?
No, but the thing is, if you don't go up and ask, you have instantly lost.
Well, this is
so
the thing.
You can either try it out and have a 50% chance, or you have given up before you even started.
And
you know what? If someone goes up to you, like from a girl's perspective, if someone goes up to you and say, hey, I find you attractive, it's a compliment. And we all like compliments, even though you can turn the person down. I would feel happy that, okay, I'm looking pretty tonight and someone noticed it.
So, if I came up to, I saw you in a bar, right? I came up to you, right?
I would run.
Well, yes, obviously. But I'm going to trip you, so you're not going anywhere, right? And at that point, when you're on the floor, I'm going to say, I'm new in town. Could you give me directions to your apartment? How would that go down?
Is that your best pickup line? Then please never approach it.
Okay, wait, give me another go, right? You're tripped over, you're on the floor, okay? Kiss me if I'm wrong, but dinosaurs still exist, right?
Okay. Oh my days.
Okay, wait, bear with me. Is your name Google? Because you're everything I'm searching for. Okay, just stay with me a little longer, right? We've got a list here. Oh wait, you'll like this one because it's about Australia. Okay, here we go. Are you Australian? Because you meet all of my koala fictions. I don't know what that means. Sorry, I should have pre-read that before I read it. However, I've got a computer-based one. Ready? Hey, my name's Microsoft. Can I crash at your place tonight? Would any of them have worked when you were on the floor after I tripped you?
The thing is, they would be absolutely terrifying without you been tripping me beforehand.
Right, that's a little hurtful. I've got another one that a friend suggested to me, right?
Wait, before you jump in. Question. Yeah. Has he used this one in real life?
It's actually a girl.
Have she used it in real life?
I don't know. I didn't ask her, actually. I should have asked her. But she said to me, you're so hot that if you ate bread, you'd poop out toast.
No.
That one made me laugh, I'll be honest.
Do you know what? My first year in Australia, I was a target for pickup lines. I think I got one every weekend.
Well, I'm not kidding. That's just because
people have been using the most horrendous one on me. I'm not sure if it's just if I look like a person. If I have a big sign above my head saying, please just pick up lines on me.
Okay, so we're saying no chat up lines. Don't do chat up lines. They come across corny. Just go up and be yourself. Is that what we're saying?
Yeah. Can I say some that people have actually been using on me?
Okay, yeah, do it.
If you would be a burger at McDonald's, you would be McDelicious.
I like McDonald's, so I like that one. Yeah.
And
McDelicious. That's kind of a McFlurry and a burger combo. But yeah, carry on.
And this one, I'm not kidding, people have actually been using this ones on me. And this guy, I think, I question his sexuality when he asked me this one.
Right.
Your hair is really gorgeous. Do you use shampoo and conditioner?
Well, he's just worrying about your hair care.
It's just weird.
Well, I did have another one that I wanted to read to you.
Okay.
Are you a phone charger? Because without you, I'd die.
No.
Wait. What about this one? Did it hurt you when you fell from the vending machine? Because you are a snack.
Oh my god. Do you know what? This is another one I got. I have two more that people have been using on me.
Go on, do it.
Okay. Did it hurt when you fall from heaven? Oh wait, I know it did because I was the one pushing you.
That's a little bit violent.
That means, first of all, he's violent, and second of all, did he just call himself an angel?
Well, Yeah, I don't know if that's probably the best one, but then we are saying with a caveat here, guys, don't use these chat up lines. They're just
Yeah, do you want to
funny.
hear the worst one I ever got?
I want to hear the worst one.
Okay, are you everyone ready here now? This is the worst pickup line I ever got from a guy who's just been learning how to speak English. And he said, he said, your boobs are like airbags. Can I crash my car here?
Oh, funny, what ledge. Okay, you did a dirty-ish one. I've got my last one for you. It is a little bit dirty. Okay. Have you been to the doctors lately? Because you're lacking some vitamin D. That was my favourite. That's my favourite.
Can we do it like this? Everyone who's to listen now, whichever me and Luke got the worst pickup line, can you just comment below and say who's the winner of the cheesiest and the best?
You're worse than best. Worse than best. So we're going over someone. What I would say as well is, if you're going to go over someone, do not wait all night. Do not give predator eyes. Just go for it. Because the more you wait, the longer you build it up in your head, the less likely you are to do it, and probably the more drunk you're getting. So the worse impression you're going to give when you get there.
Oh yeah, because you don't want to stumble across there and be like,
"Hi, I really like you, but I've had a drink or two." No, don't do that. That's terrible. Don't do that. So go straight over, introduce yourself, have a little chat, and one thing I would say is don't overstay your welcome. Read the environment. Do not follow them around all night. Have a little conversation. Say to them, it was lovely to meet you. Have a lovely night. Go off and do your thing. And then look to maybe have a little conversation again with them later, which at that point, if they're engaging again, then ask for a number. What do you reckon?
I would say, yeah, I would agree. The only thing that I would just slide in here, which I noticed lately, people are these days giving out their Instagram handles instead of the number. What would you think about that?
No.
Yes or no?
I am a definite have you. It's so personally, Instagram works for me because it's less personal. People want followers basically. So if you say to me, "Oh," so it's like if I'm talking to someone and it seems to be going nice, I'll be like, "Oh, are you on Instagram?" I do tend to do that now. I'll be like, "Hi, can I have you on Instagram?" rather than saying, "Can I have your number?" Number I feel is more like personal, whereas Instagram anyone can usually. Most people have their Instagram unlocked. So to give you their Instagram handle, they're going to get a follower. Worst case scenario, they're just seeing it as a follower. Most people these days. So you say, "Can I have your thing?" And then you might drop a message in their DMs at a later date to a story or something like that. And then if they respond, then you can start a conversation from there.
Yeah, I do agree. But I think if someone gives me their Instagram and not the number, that means I read that as they're not as interested.
Really?
Because if they would be really interested, they would want my number so they can text me, not stalk me on my Instagram story.
Yeah, but we are older now, right? We're a little bit older, and
people still stalk. Let's be serious.
People a bit younger, like say in their 2025, I think they've changed. I think they do the Instagram rather than the number. So I think I personally don't do the number because.
So you mean I'm old school?
You're old school.
Oh, okay.
You are a little old school, but yeah, I think Instagram is a less sort of abrupt way of asking for someone's details. It's a softer way of saying, "Can I have your details?" but not so. Yeah, I just think I personally do prefer to ask for the Instagram.
So if we rewind a few minutes here, you asked me where do I go out to look for people, online or in person? Where do you go around? Do you go out in person? Do you like dating apps? And where in person?
So I'm not on dating apps. I tend to try and if I'll get someone talking to someone maybe in the gym or through day to day or maybe at a bar or something like that. But I tend not to use the dating apps now because, like I say, I just find it a bit too overwhelming. My phone going off all the time. I want to be able to chill out in the evening, and I'm very much so now. If I date someone, like with my rule on Tinder, as I said earlier, I have rules for dating. Right, the rules for dating is I don't multi-date. So if I'm just literally going on a date with one person, I will just date them whilst getting to know them. And then if it doesn't work out, then I'll look to date someone else. I don't do it where I'm talking to multiple people, because I just feel that you can't get to know them and know whether you've got a rapport with them, especially if they both live in like a local area to you. When you're out, you're thinking, oh God, what if I bump into them? Or, you know what I mean? So I just tend to date one person at a time when I do get to that point. And it will be, like I say, from an area, maybe like a gym or just going through life.
Yeah, 100%
I just
agree on
don't
that
feel I
one.
can get to know someone fully if I'm trying to, because I've done it in the past. I don't feel I can get to know someone fully if I'm juggling conversations with two people. And that doesn't sound like a lot, but even two people, like if you're asking like about their lives and their day and stuff, you're like, oh, what did I say to this one? What did I can't bother with that. I'm just going to date one person at a time. And if that doesn't work, then I'll move on to the next person. But I think that to me works better than double dating, and I can do that because I'm not worried about the time frame so much. Like some people are worried about time frame, so they're trying to juggle two people because they don't want to have a period of time where they're not with someone or not talking to someone, but then they're not
Yeah,
fully, in my opinion, getting to know that other person fully. But everybody's different. Everybody's different.
yeah. I think it depends how serious you are as well, and it's a little bit of a respect, in my opinion. Because if you're dating three people, in like you don't have to be fully dating them, but you're seeing them maybe casually or just keep in contact. If you have three people, that means either you're extremely desperate or you don't really care about any of them. Because if you fully were looking for a relationship but not being in desperate in neither way, then you would put your attention to one person.
Yeah, I think everybody's just at different points and they're all looking for different things. But for me,
100%.
I was just, and now I'm at the point where I just like to get to know one person at a time, and not have the complications of trying to juggle multiple things. So that's for me. But
Yeah.
let's say we've got to a point where we've met someone, we're talking to someone. What would be the perfect first date, in your opinion?
Perfect first date. Do you know, I'm a person who I don't like when it's too formal. It makes me very awkward.
Hmm.
So a first date for me would be something as simple as going for a coffee
Hmm.
or going for a walk or something.
Yeah.
Because if it's sit down dinner, I get extremely uncomfortable with the situation. I don't like the fact that it's so formal that people are watching us. I
Hmm.
don't like the fact, honestly, I think I never said this before. I'm gonna drop a little bit of an inside information here. I think it's so awkward in the end with who's gonna pay.
Okay,
That I
right. We need to address this right now. We need to address
We
this
need to
right now
address it. I
because
know,
I
but that's why I
have.
like something more casual, because I don't mind if a guy paying for my coffee or if we're splitting a coffee or if I'm paying the coffee. I don't care. But a dinner, it feels so. I don't know. I get so uncomfortable.
Okay, so if you've gone out for dinner, let's say it's not a
Mm.
first date. Actually, wait, let's address this. So your first date idea would be like a coffee or a drink, something like that.
Mm.
Okay, that's nice. So for me, I'm more of an activity person, and I also find that if you're doing an activity, if there's like a little lull where maybe you may be a little bit nervous or you're like not sure of what to talk about, that having an activity can distract from that silence that could be there because you're doing something as well. So you like, I don't know. I just personally I prefer an activity like a little bit top golf or
And that
something like
is
that.
a great tip. Do you know why? When you're doing activity, your body is kind of going into this mood of exercising. So if you do something like mini golf or climbing or walking,
Hmm.
that means your endorphin gets released in your brain, and that's your happy hormone.
Not only
And when
that,
the
you've
happy
got that
hormone goes in,
competition.
people think that they like the person more, but they're just happy the body's moving.
Well,
Boom.
I think, yeah, I like it just because I like to do things, but I think it just creates that if there could be an awkward silence, it sort of covers it.
100%. Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, so that's sort of my thing. But let's say we're on a dinner date, right? Someone's asked you
Mm.
out for dinner, right? Bill comes along. How are you playing it?
How depends who's gonna. That's the awkward thing as well. Where are you gonna go? Who's gonna decide what restaurant?
Right, so we're not at that point. We're getting we're going
Should
to
we
we're going to the
should we
Bill
just
scenario.
slide? should we slide in that I'm an extremely overthinker as well?
You are an overthinker. But we've
Mm.
picked the restaurant. You loved it.
Mm.
You had a great time. You had 3 courses and a couple of cocktails, right? We're now
Hmm.
to the point where the bill comes, right? Bill comes. What happens? What's the scenario?
I would
What would you expect the
take.
guy to do?
I heard something really good. There's a dating expert on Instagram which I absolutely love. He's called Matthew Hussey, and he's just hilarious in the way he gives out the information. But he said something that I think is spot on. He says that if a guy doesn't offer to pay the bill, he's not raised right. But if a girl is not offering to pay the bill, she's not raised right.
Mm-hmm.
So, in my opinion, I would always take my card up,
Mm-hmm.
and but I will still judge the situation if he's letting me pay, if he's splitting it, or if he's paying.
Yeah. Okay, so you would prefer for him to pay though.
Yes, I would, because it feels very cute and old school.
Mm-hmm.
But when he does, I would try to put maybe the tip down.
Mm-hmm.
Or if it is a second date, then I would offer to pay that one.
Okay, so I'm very much like, if I've invited you out to dinner, then I don't expect you to pay because I've said, "Do you want to come out for dinner?" It was my offer. It was my invite. So if I'm inviting you to come to dinner, then I'm going to pay. However, when I'm at a date, I do like a girl to. I'd like a girl that can handle her own, that doesn't need you, has got herself together, and will be. I like to basically. I will like leave it to see. It depends, right? If I'm not sure on the person, I'll leave it to see if they go to offer. But I'll always be like, no, I've invited you to dinner. I'll pay, right? However, if through the dinner that it seems like it's gone really well and she like is like clearly would happily pay, then I'll go off to the counter and just pay quietly.
Yeah, I know that one.
Yeah, so that's what I like. I like someone. I like people who don't need you. You know what I mean? Like they've got themselves together and they're like, "Huh, I don't need you to buy me dinner, but obviously I'm going to because I offered you here. I invited you here. You know."
Do you find it unattractive for a girl to pay for you on a dinner?
Uh, if
Or intimidating, maybe could be the right word.
so, is she? No, I don't. No, not at all. Not at all. But then at the same time, like I say, if it's like a first dinner and that, even if they said, "Oh, I'd like to take you out," I'm still gonna pay.
Yeah. Do you find it unattractive if a girl expecting you to pay?
So I will always pay anyway. But I personally, the attraction wouldn't be as strong because personally I like I say, someone who's got themselves together and doesn't really need me, and therefore that sort of is like, I've got my own finances and I don't need your money, blah blah blah. You know what I mean? I don't expect you to sort of take me out. So it's a weird thing. Like obviously I'm going to, but at the same time I want to see that you can just handle yourself. So yeah, I
Yeah.
probably wouldn't find that attractive.
No, because the thing is, when you do go out in a situation, it says a lot about your relationship with money, the way you've been raised. Of course, people can change. Like, I went on a date with a guy and he thought we are going to split it. And I was like, okay, let's split it. There's no worries for me at all. But I was kind of judging him as, oh, is he very tight with money and stuff. But then I find out that he's been barely working lately because he's been losing his job. So I'm like, that makes sense. So you can't fully judge a person of the decision they're making, but it sends out a little bit of signals the way the bill goes around. I think if a girl's sitting there with her hands crossed and just expecting the guy to pay, I would say you need to stop acting like your dad is going to pay for you the rest of your life. But at the same time, if a guy is expecting me to pay, I would say, oh, he's not really a gentleman, is he?
Yeah, I'm a little bit old
It's
school
hard.
in that sense. Like I say, if I'm inviting you
Yeah.
out for dinner, then I'm gonna think I don't invite you around my house and then expect you to pay half my mortgage. same sort of principle, So
That's a weird comparison.
well, like the point is, I've invited you round. I don't expect, or I've invited you out. I don't expect to pay for it. But I do like say, someone who's going to keep themselves in. They're like, nah, don't need you. I like that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
let's
I think in
carry on.
I just think in today's world, when we are both workers, like females and males.
Yeah, I agree. I know where you're going with this. 100%. If everyone wants equal, which I think we should, everyone should be equal. If the bill comes, you gotta be willing to be half and half as well. You know what I mean?
Exactly. I saw a girl writing out on this on social media. She said, "I spend all this money on a new outfit, on making my hair looking pretty, new makeup, and all that. The least the guy can do is paying the bill." And I'm like, he did not ask you to do those things, honey. Just
But at the
no.
same time, maybe he went out and bought a shirt. Maybe he went out and got his hair done. Look, I told you
Exactly.
earlier that I do face masks. I whiten my teeth. I have my hair done. You know what I mean? Like, I sunbed. I do all these things too. So technically,
You sound
nowadays,
very like heterosexual right now.
look, we're all equal these days. Look, my point is, maybe the guy's doing just as much as you now. I don't think
Exactly.
the guy turning up like really badly dressed and that. Some guys you go out now and you're like, damn, that guy's looking sharp.
And you know what? Your clothes cost more than ours most of the time. Like, there's not much cute things for guys in those cheaper chains as it is for girls. It's easy for us to find clothes.
Well,
You're saying
I think we can both agree that we recommend, don't, if you're looking for something serious, go for your dating apps. Get the confidence just to go over to someone and, maybe don't juggle multiple people. That'd probably be our advice. What do you reckon?
Yeah, 100%. And keep the first day casual but fun.
I agree. Now, look, let's say you're down the line, right? Things have got a bit more serious now. COVID times are upon us, right? And you're saying, I want to be maybe a bit intimate with this person, but I don't want to catch COVID, right? So now I've got a list of advice for you that if you are looking to be intimate with someone, that these are definitely things that you should take into consideration.
Okay, let's go.
So the first advice, now this was actually advice that was given to people in the UK, okay? This is actually a list of things that was given to us to keep in mind. So the first one is avoid kissing or exchanging of saliva with anyone outside your household. So it's okay to tongue your mum, but not your new partner. That's what that says.
Okay.
So
notes taken.
No kissing. So if anyone's got a fear of kissing, well, you're fine. You can use this regulations to avoid that.
If you are in a house with like attached apartments or compartmentplex, does that mean your neighbors are included in this rule or discluded?
So with this, you can get off with people in your bubble, but not outside your bubble.
Okay, so don't attack your neighbors either.
No.
Normally speaking together. Okay.
Now, you might be thinking, well, we can't kiss. What can we do? Well, what you can do is you can consider sexual arousal techniques that don't involve physical contact. Like
with 2 meters of distance.
Like it says after that, like talking. So if you're a dirty talker and you get off on that, this is your time. You're going to have a great time. So
COVID is going to be just boosting up your dating world, basically.
Well, we did say you got to be able to talk, so maybe, at that point, if you're finding that you're getting a little bit frisky, let's say, you might want to try some mutual masturbation with physical distancing. So don't kiss, have a little chat, and start fapping yourself off, basically, at this point. But you don't want to get carried away, okay?
Mm-hmm.
With that, you want to use condoms and dental dams to reduce contact with saliva or poo. So this is if you're getting a bit carried away, you can't keep the distance in with fapping, okay? So at that point, they're saying use protection, okay? But don't get carried away, because the next advice is avoid sexual activities which include licking around the anus. So if the kissing if you were able to hold back on the kissing, don't go straight for the anus, is what they're saying. Just because you can't kiss the mouth doesn't mean you've got to lick the bum. That's what they're saying here, okay? So if you do lick the bum, what they recommend afterwards is to take a shower and wash your hands and body thoroughly with soap and water before and after sex and anus licking.
So this is the recommendation of the UK guidelines?
This is a list of recommendations that came out for us, yes.
Okay, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
With
No, you can't lick my anus.
Thank you for that. Keeping that in mind if the idea ever comes up. But does that mean if you have to wash yourself before and after, are you allowed to bring that person into the washing up before or after?
So I think basically
because it can be hard to reach some parts of your back, you know.
This is true. So I think basically if you're in the shower and they're facing the wall and you're eating their anus, you're fine. Because you're having a soapy shower whilst not kissing them, keeping distance because they're facing the other way, and you've had a little chat beforehand.
Okay.
So look, this wasn't my advice. I just have to bring it to you.
There's some very disturbing pictures popping up in my head right now.
Well, that is because you're a filthy-minded person. Now, I feel like we have educated people to a very high level on dating today.
Do you know what? The recommendations that you've given us from this UK guidelines, I feel like this more sounds like a doctor's visit. Do you know what I mean?
Well, we have to just ensure people's health is there. It's a big responsibility for us, Evelina.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Thank you so much for that very helpful situation and information, Luke. I feel like I'm ready to go with COVID now.
I didn't want to say much.
Protection first.
I didn't want to say much, but it is a pretty outstanding bit of information I brought to you today. I think I've actually surpassed myself.
Do you know what the recommendations are in Sweden?
What are the recommendations?
The recommendations are that creating a community and feeling connected with other people is so important for your mental well-being that they actually recommend single people to keep dating so they keep their mindset healthy. So
it basically
you are good to go.
Basically, if you do want to kiss, not masturbate from a distance,
or
maybe lick anus, you need to go to Sweden, is what we're saying.
Yeah.
Right, so here is our advice wrapped up. Basically, guys, get off the apps. Don't go on the apps. Go to Sweden. Book a ticket. Go to Sweden. Go to a pub. Don't look at them from a distance as far as a predator. Go up to them. Don't trip them over. That's not okay. Hit them with a chat-up line or don't hit them up with a chat line. Do go for dinner, but pay for the bill if you're a guy. And when you do get to the point where you have to eat their anus, have a soapy shower afterwards.
I would say beforehand as well, please.
And shower beforehand. I feel like we've wrapped up today's podcast pretty well just there.
Yeah, I'm not sure what we're going to do our top 3. What should we do?
My top 3 is simple. Personally, if you want something like a bit more serious, don't use the apps. That'd be my first one. Secondly, if you're going to talk to people and get to know them, don't juggle multiple. Just do one at a time. Get to see if you know them. And if you don't, then look to meet someone else, okay? And thirdly, I personally like a activity date. That would be my 3 things.
3 things when you start. Luke's top 3 when you are thinking about dating.
That is my top 3. And the reason it's so short compared to normal is because, well, I'm completely rubbish at dating.
We should do like one of those quick talks in the end. You know, the ones that recommendations or don't keep us accountable and like a little star.
Yeah, warning. This comes with absolutely no knowledge. What are yours?
My top 3 would be... I don't know, actually. I'm so bad. I don't even have top 3. No, my top 3 would be keep it casual with the first date. Just do something simple, do something fun, and don't make it awkward for anyone. Number 2, I would say, it's going to be so cheesy, but please don't overdo it. Just be yourself. Honestly, there's nothing worse with someone trying too hard and you can tell and it's just not working. And number three, I would say, oh, I was not really good at this today, was I?
You've been fine. We're just not good at dating.
No.
Sometimes you've got to address things you're not good at.
My number three would be just be honest from the start. Don't give all that BS that you're after something and then the truth is you're not. I hate
be
people
honest,
that
100%. I love that. Yeah,
just be honest, because there's nothing worse.
Stop fluffing. Be truthful, because everyone's always the first to say, "Oh, this person went crazy on me," after I told them a load of lies. Basically, what they mean.
Yeah, but also there's nothing worse with someone telling you that, "Oh, I'm really looking to meet a girl. I'm so heartbroken." Blah 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 blah, and then it's like, no, you used after sex, mate, and it is easy to tell.
Which if you were after, be honest about it. Maybe they are too.
Yeah.
Maybe they are too, but don't lie to people.
Exactly.
Don't lie to people. It's not good. I just want to give a shout out to Martin. He's done really well this week. He's dieting after lockdown. He lost over 2 kilos this week. So he's done really
so
well.
Good.
He's done really, really well.
Go, Martin.
Martin, you are getting chatted up today. Whoop, whoop for Martin. Yeah, I just did a whoop, whoop. So, on that note, we're going to wrap this up, guys. So, thank you very much for joining us today. And we hope you join us next time. What are we talking about next time? Do we know?
No.
No, we don't know yet. We're going to work it out, guys. But look, thank you very much for joining us today, guys. Evelina, where can they find us?
They can find us on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. And the name is 20 into 30 podcast. You can also find myself on my private Instagram or my professional Instagram, Health by Evelina. And you find Luke at...
Luke Bradley.
I always take in the wrong direction. I'm not sure if it's Bradley Luke or Luke Bradley. No, that's why I let you do it.
Luke Bradley, double E.
Yeah, find us, interact with us, communicate. And don't forget, stay on Instagram because we are popping the questions up so you can ask away on this very strange topic sometimes. Do we have any questions for this week coming in? I don't think so.
We didn't actually because, well, I put it on my socials and everyone knows that I'm Panther dating. So they were like, why am I going to ask this short little ginger-haired person how to date?
They knew from the start that this is going to be a lost case anyway.
But at least we're honest about it. I think we gave some good points still.
I think we do. This basically, follow me and Luke along and look at what not to do.
Well, look, guys, have a great Monday and we will see you next week.
Bye.